I understand we have Paul Gazelka, the Senate Majority Leader, on the phone right now. Do you know something we don't know here, Senator?
I think we know the same thing, that this is a real lack of leadership. The fact that we are at this again right now, and that we waited until a bank was destroyed and a number of other buildings, and then bring the people in. It's just mind-boggling, and why we only have 500 National Guard members when we need many more. I talked to a seasoned Minneapolis police officer. I said, "What do you need on the ground?" He said, "We need thousands." So that was yesterday, and here we are again in another situation where our cities continue to burn because of the governor's lack of leadership. It's not the mayor's. The governor is the one that has the commander-in-chief title, has access over the National Guard, and needs to act. And this is out of control. I will tell you, I tried to reach out to the White House just before I called you all, because we need intervention before everything burns down.
Being the Senate Majority Leader, I understand you're not from the same party as the governor. Have you been privy to any of the conversations, the meetings, the thought process behind the response to this?
No, I talked to him or texted him last night because of the continued lack of anything going on. And at that point, I got a text that they had 190 National Guard members called up, and they were just dispersed among those that were trying to battle this in some way. And it was like, that's not enough. And so that's why I did the press conference this afternoon, because he, in his press conference, threw the mayors under the bus, and this goes higher up than the mayor. And we have to be able to get control. I think the curfew was important. I think that should have happened before, but when people violate the curfew, you have to stop them. It's not okay to destroy people's property. So many businesses that are owned by minorities in those areas are probably never coming back again. And we could have stopped that. And that's the part that just grieves me, that we aren't taking more serious action.
So you said you had a conversation with someone, was it someone high up in law enforcement or with law enforcement experience that was saying they needed thousands of Guard members?
Yes.
What was the belief after you heard the governor at the press conference this afternoon when he said order would be restored? What did you think of that? Did you think that you would be watching this all play out again tonight?
No, I had hoped that with a curfew they would enforce the curfew, and that they would have had a strong presence of the National Guard, as I mentioned, thousands, not 500, and visible, so people knew that they were there to enforce order. And the problem is, if you just stand down, it only gets worse and worse, and that's what we've seen each of the last number of nights, is it grows and grows, and suddenly all kinds of fires and all kinds of destruction. And so it does. If you noticed, as the police came in on this one situation, everybody fled because they understand that there is a force coming that's going to stop them. We have to be willing to stop them and not just stand aside and let everything happen.
As the Senate Majority Leader, you certainly wield a great amount of power as well in this state. What will you be doing? What would you like to see happen? And I'm not talking about elections and voters at the polls. I mean now, next week, next month.
Well, right now, we need to have more National Guard in place, fully present. If that doesn't work, we have to reach out to the President of the United States and let a federal solution come to Minnesota. But I don't want to do that, but we have to be willing to get this under control no matter what. You cannot allow anarchy. You cannot allow this lawlessness to continue. And we've stepped aside and let people destroy things, and that's just never the right path.
Well, we sure appreciate your thoughts tonight and your time. Thank you for calling in. That was Senator Paul Gazelka, the Senate Majority Leader.